This week, the MMORPG Elder Scrolls Online received its latest update 33 and the new dungeon DLC, The Ascending Tide. Elder Scrolls Online players will be able to dive into the latest DLC titled Ascending Tide. This will be the first of the year-long adventure DLCs of the Legacy of the Bretons content. Players will have access to 2 new dungeons, specifically the Core Area and the Shipwright's Regret. Both these dungeons have the usual normal and veteran difficulties, as well as hard mode challenges. With this new DLC also comes the game's newest update titled Update 33. The patch introduces some highly requested features such as account-wide achievements, new PvP item sets and styles, with multi-rider mounts and a deconstruction assistant coming later this month. One major change is that the Undaunted skill line, where players will not only be able to gain new experience from completing dungeons, but also by completing Undaunted daily quests. The Elder Scrolls Online Ascending Tide is available on PC along with Update 33 for the base game, launching on Xbox and PlayStation on March 29th. As with all the news in this video, you can find out further details by visiting our website, link in the description. The Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak livestream was held this week, announcing a bunch of new details for the upcoming expansion, including its release date of June 30th. Hunters will be happy to know new monsters, wirebug skills, locations, and more are heading your way. The highly anticipated expansion will bring new challenges for hunters, especially since we are getting introduced to the trio of monsters called the Three Lords. This trio is comprised of Lunagarin, Malzeno, and newly revealed Gangragolm, a massive beast that spreads vegetation around itself. As well as new locations, a new cast of characters, there will be brand new wirebug skills and improvements made to wall running. While Capcom didn't reveal any specifics yet in terms of new wirebug skills, we can't wait for more info on these, as the wirebug skills were able to greatly affect one's playstyle in the base game. Pre-orders are now available with a number of cosmetic goodies depending on which version you pick up. If you're yet to dive into the latest Monster Hunter title, you can pick up the base game as part of the Capcom sale on Steam with 34% off. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak will release on June 30th for PC and Switch. Elden Ring has had a pretty successful launch last month, with numbers now topping 12 million in digital sales and shipments. Publisher Bandai Namco and developer From Software have reported that the action RPG that was released for PlayStation, Xbox and PC is doing rather well. 1 million copies was sold in Japan alone, according to the latest press release. The developer has even teased that they hope to be expanding beyond the realm of games for the Elden Ring IP, according to President and CEO of Bandai Namco Entertainment Inc., Yusao Miyakawa. What exactly that means is currently unknown, but this could mean further stories to be told based on the lands between in a different type of medium, with the intent to keep developing Elden Ring so that it reaches various fields, not only games. Elden Ring was praised, including in our review, which is a day one buy for RPG and open world fans. With 100 plus hours of content to enjoy or die again to, the title has taken a different direction compared to past games, offering a challenging yet eerily beautiful world to explore, full of menacing enemies, confounding NPCs, as well as familiar elements for Souls fans, but with mounted combat, a plethora of magic, weapons, and more. The recent patch update for the game also came with a number of changes, adding new quests, NPC, and major balance changes. You can check out our Elden Ring patch video for all the details. Good news for Solasta Crown of the Magister fans, as there is a lot happening in the next few weeks. This week the devs hosted a multiplayer co-op dev stream. This weekend is the Solasta multiplayer beta, which is ongoing until Monday, March 21st, 4 AM PDT. If you want to check out the online co-op feature yourself, you will need to access the beta branch of the game on Steam. Next month will be the release of the new downloadable content for Solasta called Lost Valley. This expansion adds a new level 1 to 12 campaign, taking players into the heart of the Dominion. The DLC will have great replayability as you weigh up which faction to join. Expect to meet new enemies such as giants, hags, and golems, meaning new challenges to face. Pick up new subclasses with one of each of the existing 9 classes in the game. You'll be able to team up with up to 4 players in co-op. Diving into Solasta, check out our handy Solasta Crown of the Magister Beginner's Guide, 10 tips you should know before you play. Be sure to drop by our Solasta Wiki for all the latest. Starfield got a new dev diary this week. The latest update discussed character creation, NPC looks, factions, and gave us a quick look at the game's first ever companion. Starfield looks to be shaping up to be a great open world sandbox type of RPG. Bethesda will be focusing less on linear progression for its story. Instead, it will be putting a big emphasis on the player's journey throughout the stars, as well as the wonder of discovery. As mentioned, the player's agency will take center in Starfield. To support this philosophy, they will be reintroducing hardcore RPG mechanics from older titles. It also looks like they will be reintroducing stat points as well. Of course, journeying through space will be lonely, at least you'll be able to recruit some companions. The latest dev diary revealed a few seconds of the first companion to be announced for Starfield, introducing Vasco, our robotic friend. Into the Starfield also mentioned 4 factions, many of which the players can join, multiple if you wish, and yes, you can even join the bad guys. Starfield will release on November 11th, 2022, coming to PC and Xbox. The turn-based tactical RPG Lost Eidolons got a new dramatic gameplay trailer during ID at Xbox, previewing the events of the game, combat, civil war, and a battle for the kingdom. The trailer also previews some of the combat in action with sword and shield moves, but also calling down raining fire and lightning. There are also some mythical looking creatures to battle, including great snakes and a manticore. The game uses both tactical turn-based grid combat and an outgame unit management system to outwit and hopefully prevail in the revolution. The single-player action RPG promises in-depth character customization, a story focusing on bonds between allies, tactical combat, 20 playable characters, skills, spells, and passive abilities. Lost Eidolons will be coming to Xbox Series X and S and PC in Q3 2022. Sign-ups for the closed beta are available on both platforms and will take place in the last week of April with a duration of about 5 days. Players will get to experience the first 8 chapters of the game, with the full game having 27 chapters total. You can sign up via the official website. Probably one of the biggest reveals this week was for Hogwarts Legacy. At Sony's PlayStation State of Play, new gameplay was revealed for the upcoming open world action RPG. This is just a quick overview of what was shown. You can check out the full details in our video, Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Impressions, a deep dive into combat, spells, abilities, and more. Showing roughly 15 minutes of gameplay, character creation, combat, gameplay, talents, abilities, and a lot more was revealed. Probably the most exciting part was being able to see some actual combat, including duels, enemies, spellcasting, and plenty of wand wielding. There was a great deal shown since we last saw the game with a trailer reveal in 2020. This time we got to see a mix of in-game footage, gameplay, and cutscenes running on PS5. Hogwarts Legacy was announced to be releasing in the holidays of 2022 this year for PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and most recently announced, Switch. A major update is heading its way to Godfall next month, and it's the biggest update yet. Exalted will be releasing on April 7th, adding a free update for all, which includes a number of Valorplate gameplay improvements. One of the issues we had with Valorplates in Godfall was that we wished that there was a bit more customization instead of locking us on into a extremely specific playstyle. We mentioned this in our thoughts in our initial review back in 2020. It seems now that Counterplay has heard us and many other fans and are going to make improvements. Introducing Valorplate Shards, which aims to make each Valorplate feel more unique and improve the moment-to-moment action. Each Valorplate will be able to unlock up to 4 different shards. After players collect all the shards of a Valorplate, it will upgrade to an Ascendant Valorplate and gain a second passive ability. Leveling up all 4 shards to the maximum possible will upgrade the Valorplate further into its final form, Exalted. All 12 Valorplates will be receiving access to shards, with each gaining a third passive ability. Along with Valorplates comes enhancements to Godfall's combat system. This includes players being able to revive each other in co-op, a feature called Knockdown 2.0, a sort of quick recovery skill, and all weapons will now be able to perform timing attacks. There is also a new up to 6-player game mode called Spirit Realms, which will allow players to use Spirit Vision. This will allow players to walk between the Material and Spirit Realms to collect Elder Souls, unlocking challenges against Godfall bosses using this vision. Godfall is available on PlayStation and PC. Well, that's it for the Week in the Wikis. Please join us again next week for yet another great week of gaming. Remember to check out our VIP program for some exclusive supporter benefits. And budding writers should take advantage of our Become an Author initiative. Thanks again for being part of this great community. Keep checking in with us with news, reviews, YouTube streams and vids, and general wiki goodness.